Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, welcome to the Phantom Punch Podcast. Another episode.
Welcome back to another episode, man. We back, baby.
Yes, sir. We are back.
A lot going on, man.
Too much to remember and keep track of and all of that shit.
Straight up.
Both inside and outside of the ropes, as they say.
Right.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 46. Yep. Right? Yeah, episode 46 of the Phantom Punch Podcast. I am Johnny Southpaw, my man.
Follow Ali here.
Yes, sir. We are back, as always, trying to stay weekly with y'all despite it being summer. And right around this time last year, we weren't on a schedule because of COVID. So I'm trying to do my best, people. I really want to deliver content. Apollo's been on me, on my heels about it. So we're keeping content coming out to y'all. We appreciate you tuning in.
Word.
That's all I got, bro.
It is what it is, man. Another Zoom joint, but
at least we're here.
Hopefully, your COVID vaccination is vaccinating. You know,
bro.
Hopefully, you feeling all right.
Let me tell you something. That shit sat me down.
Yeah. It's part of the reason why we doing another Zoom joint. But, it's all good, man.
I woke up for the Shakur fight, and that's it. I went back to bed.
Is that where you want to start?
Yeah, I guess why not? Let's just come out the gate swinging because I gotta be honest. COVID shot, sickness or not, I did stay up. I did watch the fight pretty much from start to finish. I watched halfway through round one. I woke back up, and then I stayed up and watched the rest of the fight. What would you think? What do you have to say about the fight? I guess I don't want to get into rating performances yet. What did you think about the fight overall?
Listen, I'm not going to be too hard on him, but I'm gonna keep it real. That was one of the least impressive performances I've seen from Shakur Stevenson up until this point. I've been following him since the Olympics. A fan of him. Yeah, Jersey's on, so it's always love. Might be a slight bit of bias involved as well. But that was the least impressive performance I've seen from Shakur. I feel like he was looking to pop shot. He was looking to catch him with 1-2 punches. He wasn't being aggressive enough. Mind you, the fighter he was fighting, it was awkward. There's a lot of things going on inside the ring, orthodox versus southpaw. The whole foot touching thing is just a normal thing that happens. But for some reason, this night it was like an anomaly, and it was just like this big ass deal that was making it awkward for the fighters to even be able to, fight for position and aggressively do that. It was a lot going on, man. So, I mean, that maybe was a lot for the young fighter to, calculate and process. I don't know what it was exactly, but I feel like he wasn't busy enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, first and foremost, to get that out of the way, like you already mentioned it, that ref is he's something else, man. I honestly don't.
I didn't get that.
I don't recall seeing him too much at the championship level. And Shakur is at a championship level right now. I mean, basically, for all intent and purposes, he's at a championship level. The foot stepping thing really got on my fucking nerves. It
was excessive.
As a southpaw, that shit happens. I can recall 100,000 times that I've had my goddamn foot stepped on, and I don't ever remember a ref saying dick about it. I don't remember no ref saying shit. So the fact that it was a big deal when it didn't need to be a big deal, I could see if someone was doing it intentionally, and but both of the fighters were doing it, and neither of them were being intentional about it.
It's not like a whole bunch of punches was being landed every time they toes touched it. It wasn't that kind of a situation.
Right. And I don't think that was something that was intentional, like you said, from either fighter. They were both just fighting their own fight. But with that being said, I agree with you. The fight was
also one other thing I did want to add though. At least one of those other non knockdowns was a knockdown.
Right.
At least one of them.
Right.
So to Shakur's credit, he was putting in that work on that level. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, and I think I think it was a good fight, an okay fight for Shakur. Like you said, it was the most lackluster of all of the fights that I've seen him in.
Yeah.
And we've both been following him since the Olympics, and even in the Olympics. Like, I remember specifically tuning in to watch him because I thought he would be able to beat the Cuban kid, and get the gold medal and be the next American gold medal from the men's side. And so obviously we've both been a fan of him for a long time. I do think that as I was watching the fight, I did notice a few things that he kind of spoke to, but he didn't say it specifically. He said that, and I forget this kid's name, is Nakahari. I don't remember the kid's name, but his opponent, he said in the post-fight interview, Shakur used the word awkward.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think it was so much that he was awkward. I think Shakur may have gotten caught a little early on, or even if he didn't get caught to the point of like getting buckled, I think he got touched. And like he said, he didn't like it. He didn't like getting touched like that. Now again, does that say something to? You can flip this coin both ways. Like, you can say that, all right, maybe then he's a scared fighter, because like if he thinks that kid was a big puncher, then wait till he gets in the ring with the likes of Oscar Valdez. Wait till he gets in the ring with the likes of Jamel Herring. If he thinks that kid was a big puncher, or you can say he's just a smart fighter, and that's what has been ingrained in him in the gym by his grandfather, by his dad, over and over and over again. Like, if you get touched and you're uncomfortable, get on your bike, move around the ring, use the stick, use the long jab, and stay long, which is what he did pretty much all night. It wasn't that great of a fight, to be honest. I wasn't super enthused with it. I knew he would win, but it did look to me that all night he was anticipating the big shot getting landed, and he wanted to be like 2 steps ahead of where this kid was mentally. So like, he wanted to be like, okay, I know he's trying to set me up with this. That way I'm going to stay back here. I'm going to stay just out of reach, just out of touch, out of his reach. I don't know, man. I don't think it was a fantastic performance, but again, fighters are racehorses. The game is to hit and not get hit.
At the end of the day, yeah.
So it is what it is. I still love Shakur. I still think he beats the top competition at the division. They are tough fights, though. I think that Jamel Herring fight is a tough-ass fight for him. I think
it's looking like that's on the horizon, man. It's looking like this.
I think so. I think that's probably next. I think Oscar Valdez is. I think he vacated, or he is vacating, moving up. I forget. I don't know, but I know that fight's not happening yet. But does this fight affect Shakur's promotability or stardom status or future stardom status to you? Does it put it in jeopardy at all?
No. I mean, if you're looking at this fight, or you're looking at the fight Devin Haney just had, where it wasn't, one of his best performances, but you had to tough it out, make it. I mean, it's boxing, bro. It's the nature of the sport. You're not going to look beautiful every fight unless you're Floyd Mayweather. Shit like that happens, bro. Shit like.
Yeah, Floyd.
I say something wrong.
Floyd looked fantastic his last fight. Fantastic.
Yeah, but I don't think that affects nothing in the long run. I mean, hopefully he learned from this fight, and whatever he did see, if it's about not wanting to be hit, or the fighter was actually awkward for him.
I honestly personally, I didn't see too much awkwardness about this kid. I personally think that Shakur was fighting like he got touched and was like, whoa, this kid can punch, and I've never really been hit like that. Like, which says a lot, because he's gotten some sparring with some really mean guys.
Him and Tank got a lot of work in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so he spars with Bud, which also that's another relationship that I want to talk about in a second. But I think it just is kind of, I don't know. I think he got hit, and I'm interested to see. Like, I would love to be able to be a fly on the wall and hear the conversations that he actually had in the dressing room. Like, yo, this kid can punch like a fucking horse or
Right.
it was just awkward, like he couldn't get his timing down or something. It just seemed to me as I watched the rest of the fight, I'm like, all right, he's trying to stay on the outside, he's trying to pot shot. I think he's just trying to stay away from that right hand.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't really put my finger on it. And then, like I said, after the fact, he did say, he was an awkward fighter and whatever have you. So,
Right.
but to answer my own question, I don't know. Time. I do feel like time will tell, because if he has another like 2-3 fights like this, he does run that risk of becoming Guillermo Rigondeaux-esque.
Yeah.
Because Guillermo just went on a roll like that. Like he went just outclassing everybody over and over and over and over again. But he did it with so much defense that it became like, to the mainstream audience, it became like,
boring.
This dude's boring. I don't want to watch him. There's no knockouts.
I mean, me personally, I don't consider defensive fighters boring.
No. I agree.
I don't consider that boring at all. I mean, to swim and not get wet, to play in fire and not get burnt. That's a beauty. That's an art to that to me. I enjoy that just as much as seeing somebody, if not more than seeing somebody knock somebody out.
Yeah.
Just with the power of a puncher's chance.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you.
That's me, man.
I agree, but I mean the mainstream audience, I don't think you're going to buy pay-per-views if they know that that's the fighter that they're going to get,
absolutely not. Especially like these versions of the average spectator nowadays, like the way these fans are trickling in, they're coming from a whole different perspective, bro. So shit's crazy out here. I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know. That's another topic of conversation that we'll get to after that.
Did you know that there was a?
That's exactly. Right. Yeah, we'll get into it. Yeah.
Talk about it, man.
But wait, before we do that, before we move on, there was a couple other fights on the card. And actually, before we get to the other fights on the card, I just want to highlight the fact that I saw something. I think Shakur posted it. No, there was another post. I know I put it on our page. And I think Bob Arum said it, or it was a quote that Shakur said that Bob Arum said to him, like a secondhand quote or whatever. Just that he believes Shakur is the next pay-per-view star, that he's the next superstar in boxing, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to nitpick again because we are the Bud Vengers here.
Absolutely.
I know that, Terrence Crawford is like his guy, is Shakur's guy. And I respect that. I love to see it when they show that B-roll of their, interactions in the gym, them playing around and like working out together. I love that. I love to see an older fighter, not like an old fighter, but an older fighter kind of taking the young buck who's coming up, who has the potential to be multi-division world champion under his wing a little bit, like riding in his camps and all that stuff. I love to see that stuff. But if I'm Bud and I have my young guy, my young bull say that, and we share the same promoter, and then the promoter says the exact opposite about me, like, I don't know if this kid's worth pay-per-view, basically. That to me is an issue. And I know we brought up the whole shit about what's his name said, Bob Arum said about Bud before. Right. And that just goes back to it. I still don't understand it. I still am not.
There's no reason for Bud to take any issue with Shakur on that note.
No, it's all with Bob Arum is what I mean.
He definitely needs to get out of the situation that he's in. I think that writing's been on the wall, and I think he knows that. We're looking to see what his next move will be. And at the same time, even in their relationship and dynamic, I mean, I'm quite sure it's understood that between us two, whether it's the big bro, little bro dynamic, we also understand this is a template, a formula, and a format when it comes to a kid like Shakur Stevenson, silver medalist, Sugar Ray framing. The promotional smile, we can marketability level
You know,
it's a formula that's been used
you know what
that
I
they
want
can
to
use they
you know
can
what?
continue to use as to opposed to a Bud who is a more of a Marvin Hagler-esque kind of a caricature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Not directly, but you know what I mean. As
No,
far as
I
if
hear
you're
what you
going to
mean.
line things up and put them in a place, that's where they go. So
He,
I'm sure he understands that. And again, I don't think he would be mad at Shakur for anything that Bob Arum has to say or believes in what he believes in, what he sees in a young boy. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I would agree. I just think, I think, I like what you said. I think the problem is with Bob Arum. But while you were saying that, I think the I don't know the comparison that I just came up with is Shakur is everything outside of the ring, or has potential to be everything outside of the ring that Andre Ward never wanted to be outside of the ring. Never lived up to be outside of the ring.
Right.
Andre Ward,
Right.
and I'm, obviously I'm Andre Ward's on the top of mind because of him being on the broadcast and all that stuff. And, but Andre was never the guy who's outside smiling, doing, you know what I mean? Being promotable.
Not the social
really.
butterfly.
Right. Where Shakur has that, like he can have that in his potential. And I think he's like you said, I mean, with Sugar Ray, I think that's a good point. I just also think like a more recent comparison is he's like Andre Ward outside the ring, but like a little bit more.
Well, even on Andre Ward, like it's the same. Like it's the same. I just took it back to the root, but it's the same similar formula. Like again, if you lining things up, where do they go? This goes here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Same thing with Andre Ward to Shakur. The thing about it is, even in his marketability, what I like about it, and this is not about to turn into the Shakur love song or nothing, but what I love about it is his marketability is not telegraphed. It's not manufactured. Like he doesn't even lean into it as much as he could if he wanted to.
Right. No, that's
as
fair.
To where you got like a Ryan Garcia where you just see it's like, oh, this kid just wants to he wants that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's cool too, I guess, if that's what you into. But it's like the overcompensation of being in the front of a camera as opposed to doing it from here first.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that he ain't doing whatever it is he is doing. Well, he's not doing this right now.
No, he's
at all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He's hanging with the Paul brothers and shit, and that's a whole nother situation. But you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree. I just thought that was I think it's interesting to see how it's how all the pieces are kind of fitting together. And like I said, with Bud, I'm excited to see whatever he does next. I even have some people in our DMs just mention it, like I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to just stay put and do what he does and take the paydays. I mean, I'm just saying what I've heard.
I would love to see him shake it up. I hope he does, but
I can see reasons.
You just never really do know. You don't know. But exactly. I can't see a reason why he would want to stay.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think I can see reasons for both sides. I can see reasons why he would leave. I think they're a little bit more obvious. But like, if you think outside the box a little bit and say, all right, Bud leaves and he goes to PBC, he's for lack of a better term, he's fresh meat. So who's to say that Al doesn't serve him up to Errol, right? You know, I think it would be okay to do that, but I think, let's say he doesn't serve him up to what's his name, to Errol, and then to Sean Porter, and then to like have him just like run the gamut, and like that, you know, puts years on his career like pretty fucking quickly, especially guys like that, Benavidez, Errol, and then, you know what I mean, and then Porter or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Even if that was the case, I mean, I prefer that rather than him dying to get a fight.
That's fair. He shouldn't be on the shelf.
That's what he's been dying for this whole time. You know what I mean? So if he was able to get in a situation like that where one after the other, that's what he's been waiting for anyway. It's not really a. I don't. Yeah. That's what's the career defining things that we're waiting on at this point. You know what I'm saying? We know he's dope. He's great. I mean, hell of a fighter. But now we need to see those fights that we need to see, and then he could do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
but these things have to happen. So I would rather him be on the one after the other situation than just begging and pleading and nobody looking his way.
Yeah, it's tough to watch him go through it and like have his young bull be the shining star of the night, and he doesn't know when his next, when his next dance is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other fights on that card, we had Julian Rodriguez taking on Sniper Pedraza. Why am I forgetting Pedraza's first name? I forget. Well, I don't know. I'm blanking on it for right now. But yeah. Anyway, so Julian Rodriguez taking on Pedraza. Julian Rodriguez from North Jersey, but has had a layoff for, I want to say 2 years, maybe. I think it's like 18 months or something like that. Yeah, it might be just like a year and a half or so. He was a really good amateur. I'm familiar with him because he worked with these guys so much. Those guys. And he was built up to be a superstar, and then he took some time off and went through a management change and all that stuff. But with that being said, Pedraza is like a vet. He's been in there with some of the top killers in the division, including Lomachenko. So I kind of knew what to expect, but it was kind of crazy to see Pedraza was an underdog. Even with even with Julian Rodriguez coming off that layoff, it wasn't that great of a fight, and to see him get stopped on the stool again, respect to every fighter, like we always say, but it's always a little, it's a little like you got stomped on the, like you didn't even go out on your back, you know what I mean? Like, and I get it, you got to do it for your own health, do it for your own benefit. But yeah, other than that, there was a couple good undercard fights. They were, here and there. There was a couple good ones. A lot of Puerto Rican kids. It was a very Puerto Rican show this weekend. But those were like the two main and co-main events. There was some, like I said, there was a couple other kids that were on that card. That kid Xander Zayas, I think is his name, Xander Zayas.
I missed that one.
Yeah, no, he was on the ESPN Plus like prelims or whatever. But another kid, another prospect, Edgar Berlanga-esque, and that he has a lot of power, a lot of speed. I actually like this kid a little bit more than Berlanga because he seems a little bit more balanced to me. He seems a little bit more like
a little more polished.
Yeah, a little bit more aware of himself. He doesn't necessarily need a knockout to win. He has a lot of good boxing skill, boxing IQ. And so I say that to say that personally, I'm looking for the next like Puerto Rican savior fighter esque, which by the way, I don't know. My man Six hit me up with this like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and I didn't mention it. But did you know Shakur Stevenson is half Puerto Rican? I did not know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. But like I said, I'm just curious to see who's going to be the next like Puerto Rican superstar to kind of raise the bar. I think there's a few of them. Josue Vargas, Edgar Berlanga, Xander Zayas. I know there's a bunch of other kids that are out there that the Adorno brothers are both really good fighters. But just some of the other cards that I had a chance, or other fights that I had a chance to watch when I was dying from my COVID shot after effects. But did you watch that? You didn't get to see any of those, did you?
Which ones?
Any of those undercards?
I caught the Pedraza joint.
Okay, yeah.
That was the only one I saw.
That was an okay fight. I mean, it wasn't fantastic. I know, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Julian, it wasn't really that great. Like, if he would have had this fight, X amount of months ago or a year ago, it might have been a different story. But he went through an injury, and I get it. Having a bad shoulder injury definitely can fuck a fighter up. So, what else we got, bro? I know there was MMA on.
Shit, also this week, I mean, I didn't watch it, but I had no idea it was happening. But apparently there was a YouTube versus TikTokers boxing match.
That was Saturday as well, I believe.
Yeah, when I was trying to log into my little link where I'd be, streaming the fights for free and shit.
Allegedly,
there was no Shakur fight, but there was this YouTube versus TikTok shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't want this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going to, figure out, other means of watching the fight and shit. But That shit was crazy. I clicked on it, immediately clicked off. That might be worse than the Triller shit. I don't even know what kind of makeshift
I thought it was the
event
Triller
that
shit.
was. Was it Triller?
Wasn't maybe?
I don't know. I don't know what it was, bro.
I'm not
it
sure.
It said YouTube versus TikTok.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. I got to be honest, all right? So I don't know who any of these motherfuckers are. Like, I don't know who any of them are. But my son came up to me yesterday when I was like able to walk for the fucking first time. And he was like, Dad, FaZe Bobby G, whatever the fuck his name is. Well, he beat this kid. You gotta see it. Like, he's pretty good. Like, he's not bad. Like, you gotta watch it. And I was like, okay. So like he pulled it up. We were watching on YouTube or whatever, and I'm watching this. I'm like, bud, come on. You've been in the gym with me. Come on, man. What's wrong with you? Like, you see what good looks like. That doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that to say that my son is 13 years old, and
here's the thing.
Him
being 13 years old is equivalent to the casual boxing fan's mind and eye when they're watching a fight.
Fam, wait. Did you just call every casual boxing fan a 13-year-old?
Whatever. What I'm saying by that is this, though, because it's like if you're not used to combat or you're not used to seeing hand-to-hand combat or you're not involved in hand-to-hand combat, you don't get in fights in your own life, you never have, you know what I mean? You just been a speculator or whatever the case may be. As soon as you see a fight happening, it's just a natural adrenaline pump. Like you're like, oh shit, they fighting. Yeah. And swinging is enough to get the average person excited. Not even landing.
Like Logan
just the
Paul.
fact that there are punches being thrown, it's like, oh shit, they trying to fight. Yep. And that is exciting to the average viewer and the average eye watching a boxing match. So when it comes to like shit like this, whereas YouTubers versus TikTokers, and the fact that they're in there and they're doing it and maybe 2 or 3 punches are landing, that's exciting to that same demographic of people that don't really understand hand-to-hand combat. You know what I'm saying?
Fam,
it's like that's enough. That's enough to get your juices flowing.
There was kids on there.
You know what I mean?
There was kids on there wearing wrestling headgear, bro.
That's crazy.
Like the wrestling, you know what I mean? Like the strap
that's crazy.
with the ears.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Bro, I don't know. Like, I hate that this is like for my son specifically. This is not his introduction to boxing, but like for kids in his school that I know, I don't know how else to say it. Listen, when I say, like, when people ask you, I know you've had this conversation before, right? So when you're small talking, and I hate small talking, I do it all the time in my job though. And it comes up like, oh yeah, what sport do you like? Like, are you a basketball fan? Are you a baseball fan? Are you a football fan? That shit. My go-to is I always lean with boxing because like I watch boxing, I follow boxing. I can name 100 fighters right now probably that are active. You know, that's my sport. That's the sport that I enjoy, that I participated in the longest of my entire life. So for me, that's my go-to, but that's anytime you say that, 9 times out of 10 people that you talk to will always be like, oh, okay, cool. And that's when I, just immediately throw out like, oh, okay, cool. I also follow basketball. Like always.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, with that being said, what I'm trying to say to let me land the plane is like, this is these kids' introduction to the sport to say like later on down the line that they like boxing or enjoy boxing.
Yeah.
I'm still of the ilk that I'm a hater, I guess, because this is not reality. These kids train for 3 months, maybe, if that. Like, look, listen, I trained 6 days a week for 2 years, 3 years, maybe longer. Maybe like 2 or 3 years before I got my first amateur fight.
Right.
Maybe even longer for my first amateur fight. That was amateur, bro. And not like super novice amateur fight. Like local, regular fight than anybody in boxing. If you ever participated in the sport, most people have at least one amateur fight. Like you know what I mean? Like if you haven't, then there's a reason why. You either started too late or you just wasn't for you or whatever have you. You know what I mean? Like I I don't know, man. I'm trying to embrace it, just like I see like Teddy Atlas embracing it. I see Tim Bradley embracing it.
Well,
I see Oscar embracing it.
You can go against the current if you want, but
It's
how far
where
are you going to get? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If what's coming is coming.
yeah.
So it looked like this shit ain't going nowhere, man. It looked like this is what is going to be the new thing.
This
I'm
is
all, but again, like I'm all for it turning into a real place where, I mean, I see through a hip hop lens, I see it as being beneficial. This is a place where men can, handle their differences and make some money instead of, killing each other and shit like that.
Look, I can support that.
I'm like that angle and aspect of it. I'm all for that, and I would love to see that become a thing. I'll be first in line.
Sure.
That's fucking fire. You feel me? I'll fuck with that. But I mean, I guess maybe because I'm not familiar with the YouTubers, the TikTokers, and who's who and what's going on. Maybe that's why it's even less interested to me. You know what I'm saying? But
right, and it's
going to be here, bro.
I think that's what honestly that's what it comes from. At least for you and I is we're just not familiar with the people. And that's what it is,
and no reason to be. I have no reason.
I'm very
to
much
be
so. I'm very much so. Like I said, my son, he plays like video games and all that shit. So he knows who like all these kids from these gaming houses are and all these YouTubers are. I don't know shit about any of that shit. And I'm like, the furthest I go is like I'm on TikTok like by this much. Like I have a TikTok, but I don't know how to use it really. Like, and I guess that's that's where it's at for our generation, because that's where I stop, man. I'm not like going I'm not going to Twitch. I'm not going to pay attention to somebody's YouTube stream, daily stream, shit like that. Like it's just not, it's not my generation, man. It's not our generation. But look, like you said, you can fight against the stream or you can roll with it. And I just hope it turns into something. I hope that it carries, and it's corny as hell when I say it, but I really believe it and I really feel it. And I can hope that some of these kids take on what the meaning and the history of boxing is and it means and how far back it goes and the lineages in the sport and some of the all-time greatest gladiators that we've seen in our era. That's the way that I look at it, bro.
Here's a scary alternate reality of what this could end up becoming. Just a thought that I just popped in my head. Like if this, because it's not going to stop. I'm clear on the fact that this is going to continue. It's going to evolve. They're going to try it with different, different kind of events they're going to put on. However they're doing. You know what I mean? It's going to continue to evolve or mutate, not evolve. It's going to continue to mutate. But here's the thing: if this thing becomes so overly popular to where it becomes the mainstream version of boxing, it's going to be kind of like, again, it's always like, boxing and hip hop synonymous. It's going to be similar to what we see in today's world of what hip hop is, like radio, like the pop shit.
Yeah.
And then actual fighters is going to be like
for it.
The fucking battle rap scene.
Oh.
Whereas like you got to be that fucking into the actual technicalities of the sport and the sweet science and how, like, you got to be nerdy about it to be in its culture, you know what I'm saying? It could turn into some shit like that, and I would hate to see that because I'm a hip hop nigga, and I don't fucking be all the way tapped in with that battle rap shit. Like, yeah, I respect it. Niggas is nice, and they definitely uphold the elements of hip hop as far as when it comes to MCing. But I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? That's not something I want to devote time and effort into watching to.
Look,
you know what I'm saying? But
let's hope it never
could become
there.
that.
Let's hope it never, ever, ever, ever gets there. I'm with you. I agree. Because I can name 3 names in battle rap right now. That's it. But yeah, bro. There was another fight that took place this past week. You don't
yes,
know
sir.
Oh, okay. I was about
the
to
queen.
Say, yeah.
The GWOAT.
I know where I'm going.
Won her MMA debut. Let's give a round of applause.
Absolutely.
I don't got the sound button, so gotta give a big round of applause, man. Claressa Shields won her MMA debut. She looked great. She took chances. I saw her throw some kicks.
Yeah, I did notice that too, bro. I saw that too. It's just crazy. I never
be
thought
mad
I'd
at
see
it,
the
man.
day. No, absolutely not. Look, listen, I support her. I support however she's getting paid the most. And if it's not about payment and it's about glory, then I accept that too as payment
Yeah.
because
And it is. I think it's about both for her. I mean, it is about both. But
Yeah.
she if she can't get the money, she'll definitely take the glory, yo.
yeah,
That's what I
100%.
love about her. And I love like even when she wins, like it's like every time she wins, it's like she won for the first time, bro.
Yeah,
And I love that about her, bro. Like it's just like a childlike innocence in her face after she was just in there being a dog. You know what I'm saying? Every time she do it, she just be so elated about the shit. And I love that shit, man.
Yeah.
I love her passion for the fight sports. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And I thought I honestly,
Word.
so I only saw highlights of the fight. I didn't actually tune in.
I caught it the day afterwards.
Okay, so fair enough. I know it was it was like Wednesday or Thursday night, and I remember it was work shit that I was working on, and I regretted it the next day not seeing it live. But I did catch like the performance. So she ended up she was taking some lumps earlier. She was she was not necessarily lumps, but she was in MMA fashion losing. And then she did her thing around.
Ended up on the floor. I mean, you know what I mean? Ended up on the ground. I had to figure it out from there.
Right. And listen, I talked to a few folks in MMA, one highly respected fighter and pad coach. Shout out to Ryan Cafaro. Yeah, so him and I were just chatting about it, via Instagram. And I said, look, man, I had a chance to watch it. What did you think about it? I was really, I'm impressed, but fuck do I know about MMA?
Right.
And he said, he basically echoed that. He said, she did great. There's some stuff that she could work on, obviously, but who doesn't have something that you can work on, and especially that young in your career? And he said that, with some more training and a few more, and some more effort into the sport, she's gonna be a problem for a lot of people. Couple, a year, 2 years down the road, she can be a real contender for like MMA championships.
I can see that being a serious thing. I can see that being a serious thing.
It's nuts. We can get everything except for Bud Errol.
Right.
No, right. I mean, listen, I love Claressa. I think she's an amazing woman. Never does get enough credit for anything that she does.
Right.
She is, like I said before, she is our Serena Williams. She gets no credit. Yeah, she gets no credit for what she does. But she's just an amazing athlete, and to be able to go to both, man. Listen, I would practice. I will work on stand up all day, every day with MMA fighters. But if we gotta go to the ground, I'm lost. I'm not. Right. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I know how to sprawl. That's it. And I think everybody knows how to do that shit. But that's about it, bro. Because yeah, man. I don't know. It's amazing to see what she does. I am tuned in and excited to see what's next for her. I think she is smart, though. I think if they can walk her career a little bit, I think, with as much time as she seems to have dedicated to it, and if she keeps dedicating time to it, I'm all for it, man. I'm ready. Turn me into an MMA fan, I guess. I don't know. We'll see.
Look, put it this way. She can't lose, regardless of what she does.
Right.
She can't lose. She took the steps and she's doing it. You know what I'm saying? So more power to her. She's already a champion more than times over. You know what I'm saying? So if she goes over there and she ends up getting a title, I mean, come on. There's nothing to even talk about. You know what I mean?
And see, this goes to...
And if she doesn't, it's cool too.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So to bring it to a more conversational point for it, if she goes on a streak in MMA, right? Let's say she gets 5-6 wins in a row, whatever, however many, call it 5 or 6, challenges for a title and loses. In MMA, that doesn't mean shit. You just lost to like a better, like you can bounce back from that and still be a phenomenal fighter. Have a
loss in MMA is looked at as how a loss in boxing used to be looked at. Like, you know what I mean?
Prior to
you can avenge that.
Whose fault is that?
Yeah, the dude who didn't lose.
Listen,
the dude who beat Rocky's record.
In the words of the greatest fighter, the great white hope, Jake Paul, I got your career. I got your career.
Wow.
Some people are arguing that Floyd lost, my friend, and I'm
13-year-olds, man. Be clear.
Fam, nah. My son watched that fight and was like, this dude fucking sucks. Logan Paul sucks. That's what he's talking about. No. I don't know. That's just one of the
things. Man. Yeah, I mean, much shit you talk. You know, one could say you might have named your son after one said great white fighter. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Wait, Jake? Nah. First of all, he goes by Jacob, not Jake. That is not that. Yo, you gotta tell Duce to chill, bro. She's
having a fucking spasm attack right now.
I think my dog just hurt her. She just came in here.
Hey, man. Keep it fucking rolling. Yeah. Dogs is part of the sport too, man.
Yeah,
they fight too.
Just keep it rolling. Nah, bro. But again, I think even if she goes deep into an MMA career and she takes a loss, fuck it, man. It was.
I don't care. Her win, lose, or draw over there, she's good, bro.
Absolutely.
Just for the fact that she had the courage to go try something new, try something different, get all the way out of her element, and have to humble herself to get down to the ground level and put the work in.
Why?
She's dope.
All right, so I got another question. Why is it only why is it only women who are doing this? Why is it never any guys? Holly Holm, Heather Hardy, Clarissa Shields.
Hey, it could possibly be an easier transition for women. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm saying as opposed to men, it could possibly be an easier transition.
Maybe.
I don't know.
There's just less.
I feel like if you're a woman and you can fight, you can fight. Period. If you're a man and you can fight, but there are degrees to men that can fight. You know what I'm saying? And there are different things that men can do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just. I mean, that could be a sexist statement. I could be wrong, but I feel like that because it's like
he said it, not me.
There's women that can fight, and then there's the rest. But in men, there's men that can fight, and then there's men that can fight, and then there's men that you don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like categories in that, and I don't know who wants to go over there and fight the boy. What's his name? Fa.
Oh, Fa Jogba. Oh wait,
yeah,
no.
nobody.
Or
ain't that his name?
Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou.
That's I'll get the, my bad.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go over there and fight him, bro.
Nah,
none of these heavyweights.
No.
And as big as I talk about Tyson Fury,
he says it, but he won't do it.
He don't want to go in there.
Not in MMA. No, not in MMA.
Nobody wants to. And you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just different.
Yeah.
You don't even really see yourself having the chance.
Not in MMA. Nope.
It's different.
It is different, and that's what I just let's.
And I could be totally wrong, but just from a bird's eye view of seeing it and knowing the differences between certain competition levels and shit, I think maybe it's that. Maybe it's an easier transition, and also the male fighters in boxing actually make money, so they don't really necessarily want to have to go over there and tussle around with them for what they wouldn't be making. And they wouldn't be making what they're making in boxing anyway.
Yeah.
But for women, it's a lot more pros than cons.
That's the point too. I think that's what it comes down to. I think guys are paid to stay in their sport versus women who are like,
mistreated anyway.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, bro. Congratulations to Clarissa again. Excited to see her future in the sport. Let's just do it, man. I'm tuned into her. What else do we got? What else went on this weekend?
The rumors of Teofimo Lopez is re-signed back with Top Rank.
After
this big Triller.
That's not a rumor. Situation. That's official. I forgot about that. Yeah, that is official. That is an official thing. They announced it on the Top Rank broadcast, so I think it's just considered a done deal.
We know he fights this week, and in that same, what I was hearing was that his potentially next fight date will be October 2nd, and it could potentially be against one possible Devin Haney.
Damn.
I don't know. I don't care. But if it happens to be anything like that, that's too close to my birthday for me not to be there. So I just want to throw that out there.
We keep saying it. We need to do it. Last year, we understand why
we bullshit. Last year was COVID.
COVID. Yeah.
But now we got to pull up.
Yes.
Shit start opening back up. Barclays Center, all that shit, man. We in there.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I can't wait for fights in New York again, bro. I haven't been to the Garden in fucking forever. No, so yes, it is official. Basically, the only details that we have about it are that he negotiated a higher rate for his purses, and it's a 2-year contract, and I don't remember what else it was said. I think there was one other bullet point to it.
Prior on in the beginning, he was saying, the respect wasn't there. Like it was basically about the bag, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
he felt like he was ready for that next level, and more power to him because he fighting for his family, bro. He fighting for his legacy, like everybody is. But it's time to come up, bro. I done did that thing. I done beat the one y'all was building to be the Great White Hope.
Yeah.
So I want to get paid like it.
Yeah,
and he deserves that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm excited for him to come back to Top Rank, to come back to where boxing lives, because I also noticed, because he does fight this weekend, I believe. Yeah, he fights the 19th.
This weekend.
Yeah. And I also noticed that there's going to be performances again, and it's hosted by Snoop and Mario Lopez and what else? I saw Meek Mill's performing, and Vitor.
They're spinning that bag on entertainment.
Vitor Belfort is fighting the real Tarzan on Instagram. I don't know who the fuck that dude is. No, I don't know. I don't know either. He's fighting the real Tarzan. Whoever the hell
I don't know nothing about that shit.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. But either way, that's happening on July. That's this weekend. That's this Saturday.
June.
I don't know. I might. I have.
Charlo fights this weekend, right?
Is it? Is that this weekend?
Yeah. I believe he fights this weekend too.
What's her name? Michaela Mayer fights this weekend too. It's a busy weekend then. Damn.
Yeah.
It's Father's Day weekend, bro. Just trying to get drunk and golf. What the fuck?
I'm gonna have to tap in, man.
This is gonna suck. Whatever. Good shit though. Good shit. I love to see Michaela.
Yeah, I'm glad Teofimo was back with Top Rank. I'm glad they was able to reconcile their differences.
Look at you.
Hopefully. I guess he saw what was going on over in that Triller Fight Club and was like, "Whoa, hold up!"
It's like,
hold up.
Yeah, now you know what?
On second thought, all money ain't good money.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. But good for him. He's back to Top Rank, back where boxing lives. I hope that Bob can do the same for Bud.
Oh man, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be sweet?
Yeah, we make Bud happy, get him on pay-per-views.
I don't see it.
I don't either.
It's like he don't fuck with him, and that's just what it is.
I wanted to lean on the fact it's a black and white thing, but I don't think it is. I think it's just he don't fuck with Bud, bro. That's all I think it is. I think Bud maybe rubbed him the wrong way, pushed the wrong button, said the wrong thing to somebody, and that's what it is.
Yeah, it's possible, man.
I don't know, because Bob is the old guy. He's the old school guy, and that's kind of what I thought. That's what I thought it was, because of Lomachenko and all of that shit. But I guess not. I honestly don't know. I don't know, because of what he said about Shakur. It just doesn't. Things don't add up. You know what I mean? But
I feel you.
Either way, there's also a conspiracy theory going on with Keith Thurman saying that Errol Spence is dipping and dodging and scared of him, when I don't see how that's all that possible.
Yeah. Keith Thurman is turning into I don't know what the fuck, bro.
I like Keith Thurman too. I think he's got legs on him still. He can still be a good fighter. He can still be a great fighter. I just don't. He
need to shut the fuck up though.
Just fight, bro. Just fight. Let's fight Porter again. Let's do
quiet
that.
And fight, bro. Because I think he wants to be I don't know if he wants to be a personality or what, but I don't know. Just something about when he talks, it just makes me like him less.
His division,
honestly,
his division is so fucking busy that he could, if he wanted to, he could fight 100 different names right now that all mean something, like the Charlo brothers, or one of the Charlo brothers, but any one of these other guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Benavidez, like, you know what I mean? Like, he could fight a lot of other names in the division right now and still get a big payday. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him, bro. He's a wild character.
Pacquiao lost. Got him acting unusual.
Yeah,
man.
spinning his fucking wheels. Also, Pacquiao just put out a a Pacquiao highlight reel, and I got all excited again because he's like 50 years old and throws 300 punches a second still. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
How many of them punches was that Floyd Mayweather?
Shut up. Nobody cares. God, Floyd, go back into the abyss. God, do you think Floyd does this again? Do you think he fights the other brother?
Why not?
I mean, I'm not saying why.
Probably. It's already lined up. Why not?
Oh, God.
Probably does.
I'm looking for somebody. Hey, look, somebody, please buy it and then put it on Instagram so I can watch it. With you.
Pretty Boy Floyd went to the WWF, bro. He didn't make as much money as he did doing this.
Terrible. It's so bad. I can't.
So if you can do that, why you can't do this?
I think that people will be not enthused to watch this fight.
The next one, if he do it again, well, yeah, I mean, he definitely made it clear that it's a bank robbery.
Even though I think the Jake, the little brother, would make it significantly more interesting in the promo.
Oh, you saying the promo? I thought you were talking about the actual fight.
No, I don't think either of them can really fight. But
they got to fight each other.
That's what they said they would maybe do that one day.
That's the end game.
That would be hilarious. That would be so fucking funny, bro. I wouldn't watch it. That's like, yes, please. So like, both of you fight each other.
Maybe they cancel each other out.
Yeah, exactly. Knock each other out and then exit the sport. Please go away.
Grand opening, grand closing.
They came out of nowhere too. See, that's my thing. Like, I want to say, like, once they're out of the sport, they're out of the sport. But like, they came from nowhere, so there's probably more people in nowhere that I don't know about. That
right.
My son probably knows about. Who's like, oh, well, wait until Phase Bippity Bop just fucking makes his way here. I'm like, who are these people? Go away. Oh, also, Lamar Odom and Aaron Carter, that's his name. Lamar Odom and Aaron Carter. That took place this weekend, whenever
that was in AC too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Ugh, God. Did you see that shit?
Highlights.
Disgusting, fam. They had headgear on. It was like, yo, like this dude fighting this dude. Like it was. Yeah. That was crazy.
You know what? I mean. It always reveals itself how boxing is just such an anomaly. It's such a different thing. Even if you look at, like, again, we always use the example of Andy Ruiz. That's not an athlete necessarily. It's a boxer.
Right.
Different.
Right.
Then you got athletes that come into boxing, and like it's like you look good doing everything else, nigga. Bringing in all the groceries with one hand, like you do that tremendously. I don't know, falling down and getting up. You look good doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like but you don't look good boxing.
I gotta ask that. Why can't the bag be MMA? Why can't the bag be bare knuckle boxing? Why can't
Speaking of bare knuckle boxing, man, I just seen something on IG the other today. As a matter of fact, it was like old clips of fucking Kimbo Slice, man, when he first popped up on the scene.
That kid was a problem.
That shit was ridiculous, bro.
That was a different
era,
eye
in the back of his head, man. In his backyard.
Yeah.
Like, man, I didn't come outside for this shit.
I was like this. Oh God, I've never seen
that shit. Was horrible, yo.
That was a different era, bro. We were from a different era. That era was our era. Nigga. Kimbo Slice out in the backyard.
Rest in peace, Kimbo Slice, man.
R.I.P. Kimbo, man. Damn, these kids don't know shit about Kimbo Slice, bro. In them backyards in fucking Miami and shit, bro. Oh my God. It's a different era, bro. We just a different.
It's era. Like, because it's a different thing. I mean, again, like you were saying, why can't that be the bag? I feel like that shit should definitely be a bag. That bare knuckle shit. But
exactly, go do that.
Only thing I hate about that shit, like, not hate about it, but it's like it begs the questions of, like, even a dude like Kimbo Slice, like, how hard do you hit, nigga? Like, comparison to like a Mike Tyson, like,
see, but
if y'all was to be in the same place at the same time, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's just the curiosity of that. Like, those is questions that you can't get an answer to.
That's
just to correlate.
Look,
all you know is it hurts.
That's why.
That's all you know.
In my opinion,
you know that shit hurts.
In my humble opinion, that is why MMA is the perfect lane to go do that. That way, if somebody, the way the first UFC was, there was people with shoes on, with gloves on, without shoes on, without gloves on. All of the combinations. There was fucking what's his name? Royce Gracie was there with his fucking gi on. All that shit. They was all fighting each other in what they were comfortable in with,
and the styles that they
not
want.
rules really. Right, exactly. And I'm go do that there. Leave boxing alone. Let us be the sport that is dying to everybody. That's fine. Listen, I think I posted on our page. Somebody, I forget who the fuck it was. I miss the days in boxing when there was cherries under Danny Garcia's page, when it was Mitsubishi, Gold Coast Toyota, whatchamacallit's on, when Floyd was cherry picking fighters, and when that's what I just miss that era, bro. I miss that era in the sport. I can't lie.
I mean, I'm with you, bro. I agree. I miss when everybody was saying every person Floyd was about to fight was the one that could beat him, and then they looked like shit when they got in the ring with him.
Look,
I miss that era too.
I would go back to relive that era if I could relive it brand new compared to this one.
I miss that too, man.
What are you gonna do? That's all I got, bro. I got
sidebar. We talk a lot about Bob Arum. We talk a lot about Eddie Hearn, all the guys and shit. You know what I mean? Just a thought, bro. But I need a docu series, a docu or a bio film on Don fucking King, yo.
I was thinking about that the other day, bro.
I need a movie on Don King, bro.
Listen, because you know what? Like, I forget what made this come into my head. That's crazy that you just brought that up, because I was thinking about this and I'm like, yo, like there had to be a point, right, in boxing that boxing was on TV and it was regular. And this is even before me. Like they had, I think, like Wednesday night fights or Friday night fights. I forget what it was.
Shit, bro.
And they just had regular. No, but that shit was like the regular. Like that's where you could find boxing pay-per-view.
Wide World of Sports or whatever that shit used to be.
Pay-per-view wasn't a thing, and then Don King came along and he spawned the game into the version that we know it is right now as paying for fights, fighters making
after murdering two people and coming home from the bed, mind you.
That's a wild story. I need to see that. Yes, perfectly.
Son.
I'm with that. Give me listen. Don King
and becoming the character he became, like, nah, man, and then being involved all the way up to the greatest of the greatest, bro. He's a part of everything. He was there. Like, I need to know what the fuck is up with Don.
I want to see two documentaries. I want to see the one from Don King's version from Don King's point of view, because I'm sure that's very interesting. And then I want to see one from like the unauthorized version, where it's like him taking money from people and all of that shit. Like, there's no way he was doing that I mean, he might have been doing it since the beginning, but like, it maybe wasn't as bad as we found out it was, or whatever. Either way, I'm with you. I was literally just thinking about that over this past week or something like that. I'm all for that. Hell yeah, give me that. I'm with you. We're just not from this era, bro. Our era was different.
Absolutely. This is a whole new thing.
Listen, I want to shout out to all the other podcasts I see popping up. Let's keep the sport alive. Let's keep it rolling. I'm not going to name y'all, but I know a few of y'all. Keep it rolling, man. Keep talking about the sport. Keep pushing it out there to your friends, to your family, to your fans. Build a new fan base. Just make them understand that boxing comes from like the fucking gladiators, fam. We are the last standing little bit of the Roman gladiators, the guys who used to get paid in freedom to fight. You know what I mean? That's what all of this comes from. Prize fighting comes from all of that. There's a few deeper, darker roots in there, but look, listen, keep it alive. Don't let the YouTubers eat our shit. Pause.
Right.
But that's all I got, man. We know what fights are coming up next week. I'm looking forward to it. Happy early Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And that's all I got, bro. What you got? We got walkouts, and that's it, man.
Man, I have no walkout. I don't know.
What? Yeah. All right.
I don't have a walkout, bro.
You gotta have a walkout. Think on it for 5 seconds.
Sometimes you just walk out to nothing.
That's
sound of your own heartbeat.
All right. Well, I know
sound of the crowd.
I'm gonna inspire you. So my walkout, your friend, rest in peace, one of the greatest to ever do it, Sean P. I was listening to this. This came onto my Spotify the other day. Boombayé by Sean P. That is my walkout.
Yeah. That's Kimbo Price, man.
Let's go. All right, man. You got to give me a walkout.
Same as yours.
What?
Another episode of Phantom Punch Podcast. Appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? That was Boombayé by Sean Price. Rest in peace, brethren. You already know. Shit, man. That's it, man.
All right, man. That's it. Episode 46, Phantom Punch Podcast. All the fighters in the ring. What? I know your thing.
You don't got to do that part, man. Don't worry about that.
All right, we'll
man.
Get to it then.
Salute to all the fighters that enter the ring. We're going to continue to cover the Hurt Business, man. We love this boxing shit just as much as y'all do. Thanks for tuning in. We catch y'all next week, man.
Peace.
Peace.